All right, greetings. I want to focus on the fact that there is some great resistance out there, and I always am expressing my disappointment with sort of like No Kings, for example, or whatever. Um, but there's this woman named Medea Benjamin, Code Pink. She has never stopped, never waned. She is awesome. Confrontations with real power in the halls of Congress, on the floor. She's amazing. And she stays at it. She responds to statements that people in power make in very pointed ways, online, in the current media, and everything like that. So, Medea Benjamin, she might not be perfect, whatever. I don't care. I love her for her efforts and her continuance in this. I think a lot of people are really annoyed with Code Pink. Oh, well. Um, yeah, and then uh, like in the media realm, there seems to be some, the media, so the legacy media has long known that they've lost the narrative. They're kind of losing it, and over on so, but they've kind of they have a lane in social media, and they've kind of got a lot of that going, and there's a lot of stuff there. So the same, while they've lost it over on cable TV, maybe they got some old boomers, but not much else. Um, but they can push the same narrative through their social network channels, kind of thing. And that's fine. That's what they've been doing. But in the media critique kind of world, it's a great time for that because everyone knows the media sucks. Some of them are super partisan, and they have this partisan angle that they're never gonna transcend. Oh well. But you can pull some away, if you have some good, a good perspective, some good facts, some good information, a good thing going. You can pull some people away. It's a good time for that. Independent media, I think, could flourish, or some sort of, new channel with some good branding, some good internet presence, and maybe radio. I think that's a great combination. Radio, video on internet, and combined with radio presence, which is sort of what Project Censored has been doing. Mickey Huff, right? So, there's some great stuff going on out there. I guess that's what I wanted to say. It's some really great journalism still happening, and that you should pay attention to, and probably less whining about how much it sucks and how much people don't know. Because actually, I'm finding out there's a lot of people out there that know. Unfortunately, they just don't have access either. Right? A lot of them, their YouTube channel is super suppressed, like mine. My YouTube channel is really hit hard. It's really suppressed. View counts. That number has been being deflated as soon as I started asking about monetization. So I had like a video that got 60,000 views in a pretty short amount of time. And so then I said, "Hey, I heard people are getting, I noticed you put an ad on some of my videos. This is new. All this was new. So you put up your video before in the past. An ad would never interrupt your video. It would just play. It was good. Suddenly, then one day, okay, this new era, boom, ads over. This is free. It's free channel. You're not paying. Um, so the ads placed, and then there was this time of this word monetization started to come around, right? So then I'm like, okay, look, I'm a video content dude, and early in the day I kind of was. I still had a Final Cut Pro, video editing, and still had some activist connections, doing some stuff, whatever, just because maybe could stay in the game there, get some hot stuff going. But yeah. But anyway, so my early videos I posted, what kind of Whispered Media edits and re-edits of Whispered Media stuff. Um, Stuff that I kind of always wanted to just, I want to put together a reel, that I could show people. So I kind of did it on Mangomon, YouTube Mangomon. Um, and, with some Whisper Media stuff, produced collectively with Mark and Adams and Francine, and some of it just produced with me and Mark, some of it just my stuff, whatever, just kind of hodgepodge of stuff, but just put it all in there, man. Whisper Media, let's do this, rock a little, some edits, and some made kind of specifically for the internet. So that was fun. I did that. I got tons of hits, just like mega hits. And so then I was like, yeah, I should monetize this. But then when I went to do that, I went back to look at the videos and all the numbers were deflated. So like I had WTO Seattle 99, and it had like 100,000 views or something like that. And then I looked again, it was like 30,000 views, and then it would never go up. That's the thing. Like through time, people were telling me they were watching it, whatever, was getting some good. It was even getting linked out there. Things were happening with it, but the view count was stuck, right? So something weird going on there. And I remember there was a new CEO that took over at YouTube who came from, who knows, like it's one of the other techie things. So because I was working in that field at the time as a sound tech and a light technician. I actually covered the event that had her on stage answering questions. It was funny. But yeah, so the big change, YouTube, and so like then this any question monetization or anything, and if you're political, also they're already kind of starting to kind of put you in a cohort, kind of put you in it somewhere. So if you were neutral, making videos and they just didn't care, you're making making videos about your cat and herbs you like or something like that. No problem. They're not going to really mess with you much. And if you get a lot of numbers, you could probably monetize. But I never was able to. And then my view counts were suppressed like crazy, and now they're really suppressed. And not only are the view counts suppressed, I'm visibility filtered. Like they're not going to be able to ever see me if I like post about myself, say somewhere on somebody else's active Facebook page or something, and it looks interesting. I do a good job with the graphic or something in the title. I actually do something. And anyway, so it's going to get a lot of hits. No, it won't though, right? Many people won't even see that post. That's the modern world we live in. But anyway, so Nolan Higdon, Mickey Huff, just lots of other great people. I had some other people I wanted to mention. Abby Martin is amazing. Her work, perspective on Palestine, and lots of other issues before that. She's had several programs. It was, I've mentioned before, it's like I liked her. I was a fan. And then, what band? Where is she? Oh, not on this platform. Okay, boom, boom. Oh, look, there she is on RT. Like I kept finding her. But it's a shame. She should be interviewed on KALW and on KPFA. And I know she's been on KPFA, I'm sure. I know, like she had like one of our mutual friends had a show on KPFA. Anyway, doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that now, we want to see, like when you're listening to NPR, why is there this whole lane of journalists that you will never hear on NPR? Right? There's a Glenn Greenwald, right, left, or center. I don't care. Love Trump, hate Trump, whatever lane you're in with that. You could at least acknowledge that Glenn Greenwald is a pretty kick-butt journalist, right? I mean, broke the Edward Snowden story with The Guardian at the time and all this. Has some great perspectives. Used to be a favorite on Democracy Now! But it's like he's banned now. I don't know. It's weird. And Matt Taibbi, it's like suddenly because he wasn't he wasn't just super sycophantic to the corporate Democrats or something. I don't know why. When did Matt Taibbi fall out of favor? But anyway, he's no longer a favored one. He's considered kind of a rantankerist, maybe over there on the right. I don't know. Like it's absurd. But Matt Taibbi, Glenn Greenwald, Max Blumenthal, interview some of these comedians that are making a big splash on YouTube. Start to discuss the YouTube phenomenon on your show, on over there on the radio. Don't make it an enemy, make it a friend. Bring in Jimmy Dore. Call up Jimmy Dore. Say, hey, Jimmy Dore, you've been breaking some really, not breaking, but covering some really cool stories, really cool angles, having lots of really nice interviews. You're kind of doing the work of independent media on your little comedy show, right? And so anyway, have some of these comedians, Sammy Obeid, Jimmy Dore, David Chappelle, they have all crossed into that lane of kind of tickling the tiger, like getting some information out there through their comedy that otherwise wouldn't make it. I know there's a lot of people that get information from comedians that they would never, their media lane doesn't have any other avenue for them. So I guess that's what I wanted to say. Focus on the good and encourage the good. And we need real results on the ground and better media. So we need to see like spaces where, hey, I can actually, oh, you mean I'm invited to grow 3 corn plants here? Walking distance from my house? That's awesome. Organic food garden, just kind of commons. Wow. All right. Let's do this. You know what I mean? We need to see real results like right now. We need affordable housing, local, better food, better healthcare, ending this crazy war madness. We need to stop having derelict leaders that are hyper manipulable by the steady state. We need to stop that. We need to actually start having elected officials again, but in the House, presidency, the courts. Oh my God, they're just we've lost every branch. Oh my God, and the media too. The fourth estate, whatever it is called. All right, that's good. I'm tired, but yeah, I was trying to say. I had someone else a really great example. I wanted to be like, and these guys, these are awesome. There is some nice resistance out there. Of course, the native resistance that's still going on, First Nations people still aware of themselves, keeping their language, keeping their heritage, keeping their lands. To the extent that they are kind of living traditionally in any way that they can and still have access to their hunting grounds, fishing rights, pass-through rights, and are making their traditional art, passing on their language, keeping all that stuff going, and advancing into the future. I mean, I think in a lot of ways, some of our native First Nations people are going to be providing some of the answers on how to live in a kind of post-collapse world. So, all right. Have a good one. Be the media. Make the media. You be the media. All right. Peace out.